Alright, so lights, camera and action. Hopefully you guys will be able to see me coming up on your screen any moment now with the front camera. Please do let me know if you have any problems with the visuals. You should be able to see me any moment now. I would ask if you could hear me, but that would be a pointless question, because if you can't hear me, you wouldn't be able to let me know. Okay, from what I can see, it looks like we're good to go. Good, excellent stuff. All right, so I just want to give it a minute or so for others to log into the webcast. We tend to get a lot of people that turn up onto these, and for very good reason. It's exciting stuff. And before I really get started and we let people get a chance to actually join me, I just want to give you an idea of what we're going to be covering and what this is all about, the purpose of this. I really appreciate you taking the time to come and join me. You know, I'm sure your time is valuable, I know mine is, and I couldn't be more delighted to be actually doing this stream for you from my home office here in Miami, Florida. It's been a fantastic day. You can probably see the sun is shining. It looks like it will continue into the evening, and I couldn't think of anything more that I would rather be doing right now than doing something I'm so passionate about, which is talking about creating what we like to call a digital life, which probably isn't going to mean anything to you right now, but it will do by the end of this presentation. Now I'm going to ask you a small favour, and that favour is try and avoid any distractions, Facebook, Twitter, email, phones and everything like that, because for you to get the most out of this, you're going to want to really hang on to every single word that I say. And one thing I'll tell you, this isn't to come across hypey. That's something that we're going to avoid through all of our presentations, not just this one, anything that you join with us. One thing I am going to say though is that there have been many people who have come onto webcasts similar to this, who have gone on to completely change their lives. You know, for multiple reasons, from the education we've been able to provide, the team that we have behind the scenes here, the resources that we have, but most importantly because of their attitudes and their drive and will to actually do the work and learn something new that's given them the opportunity to have a very different way of living, let's say that. So one thing that I will say is that you may come across a term that Jay, my business partner, and I use a fair amount, a lot of our past students as well, which is about creating your digital life. And I just want to let you know what we mean more specifically, because creating a digital life isn't actually anything more than learning the skill sets of online and internet marketing and entrepreneurship to be able to live a lifestyle of freedom and flexibility. I suppose the best way I can sum it up, as long as you have a laptop and an internet connection, you're in business, you're good to go. And you know, we have students that have gone on and built businesses in lots of different industries, niches, markets, but the one thing that we all have in common is we tend to leverage the skill set of online or internet marketing to grow those businesses, usually at quite a fast pace, and continue to have freedom along the way, which is something that's just not offered with the traditional way of doing things, working a job, running a traditional business and everything else. And although we have, as a company, we have actually 35 people behind the scenes. A lot of people think it's the Stuart and Jay show. Honestly, we would be absolutely nothing without our team here. But what our team does allow us to do is spend time doing the things that we love, which is inspiring, coaching and mentoring, and I suppose, like I said, wake people up to what's possible in this new digital economy. So this is what we're going to be talking about on this presentation, is what can be the steps that you can take to start creating your digital life and having a lot more freedom and flexibility, or start your very first business or grow an existing business. It really doesn't matter. One of the things that we commonly hear is that maybe I'm too old, maybe I'm not technical enough, maybe I haven't got enough experience, maybe I'm in the wrong location. None of that matters. What the internet has done is it's made the world very flat again, and each and every individual has a tremendous amount of opportunity to really create things that they're extremely passionate about and live a purposeful life, which for me is the most inspiring thing in the world. I think that being able to wake up every single day, jumping out of bed, being excited to do business is how it should be, but as you probably know, it's often not the case. So I've got my notepad here to keep me on track. These are the things that we're going to be covering. I won't spoil it and read them out all right now, but I want to keep things on track and just really, like I said, the goal today is just to inspire you to potentially take action at the end of this webinar, where you can, for virtually nothing, you can start getting yourself on track to actually growing or building an internet business that's going to potentially, like I said, do all of the things that we've been discussing. So at the end of this presentation, what I will do is I'll be making you a very exclusive offer, something where you'll be able to go through a module of training, and that module is actually designed to do one thing, and that is to completely give you the confidence that you have everything within your reach to actually be in business right now, including tools, resources, products and everything else, and also the education to go out and be successful. You know, this is something that we've been working on for a very long time. Jay's been on the internet now for 10 years, myself pretty much 7 years, so 17 years between us, and in internet years that's a long time, and we know that our students and our community can really benefit from what we've been able to create and working with our team, particularly with what we're going to be talking about today, which is our private community, the Six Figure Mentors private community. But I will say this, that this isn't going to be for everyone, and the reason being is that this isn't one of those push button money, you know, get rich quick things or anything like this. This is an education that we provide that you can apply to multiple different business models. Doesn't matter if you've got an existing business, it doesn't matter if you've got a business idea, it doesn't matter if you have no idea. We are going to be able to show you exactly what you need to do to achieve the results that you're probably looking for if you're wanting to create something that you're passionate about that can give you a very fulfilling life and potentially a very scalable income. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to hone in on this whole idea of why learning internet marketing is a good choice for many people. So the first thing I will say is that, again, I can't stress this enough. Age, sex, background, location, none of that matters, okay? It's all about having an open mind and an attitude of being prepared to do the work. If those two things are okay with you in terms of you're comfortable doing the work and you're comfortable gaining new education and having an open mind, then by the end of this presentation you really can start the journey that I'm going to be sharing with you right now. So I want to go back to 2007. I had been working in my career for just coming up to 8 years as a real estate agent. I was working 70 hours a week, and I was commuting, I was doing appointments, I was working weekends, and for 5 years of that career I had quite a lot of passion for what I was doing. I enjoyed the job, I enjoyed seeing people's homes, valuing and listing people's homes, growing a team, selling property, etc. But for the final sort of 3, close to 4 years, I completely was going like this in terms of passion levels. I was tired, I was bored a lot of the time, I was getting up out of bed with an alarm clock, many days dreading the day ahead. I had absolutely no savings. In other words, I wasn't, in my opinion, making enough money, and things just had to change. And that's when I first started doing some research. I bought a lot of wealth creation books, books like Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and you know, I started to just educate myself from home. And the first thing that screamed at me as I started to go through this journey is that working a job gives you very little freedom. Most oftenly in terms of financial freedom, time freedom, geographical freedom. So that was the first thing, and I thought, you know what, I need more freedom. The second thing is I realised that a job is, the typical job is trading time for money. In other words, you work hours for dollars or pounds. You know, you work 30 hours, 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours a week, and depending on how many hours you work and the work that you get done will depend on how you get paid. And of course, yeah, some people are commissioned and they get extra money, but the point is if they stop working, they don't get paid. And I wanted to create something that meant that if I did decide to take a month off or 2 months off or 3 months off, I could, but also that I would continue to get paid. And that's the biggest benefit, I believe, of being in business for yourself. Even traditional businesses can offer that. You know, if you're the owner of the business and you spend a lot of years growing it and developing a team and everything else. But what's different is we're now in a digital economy, and people can work a business as a one-man band. We can use software, tools and technology to do a lot of the heavy lifting. We don't have to be tied to a specific geographical location. And one of the best things as well is there can be a lot of automation, and as a result of that we can have a lot more free time. Now, it wasn't a case that I started my first business on the internet and nailed it and started living this amazing lifestyle and earning millions of dollars. That wasn't the case at all. So let me tell you what happened. So I started a franchise business, and it was based on the internet as a concept. It was a local business advertising franchise, and the idea is, as I'd go around and meet local businesses, have them advertise on my website, and they would pay a monthly fee. And my thinking was, do you know what, like if I can build this business to, 500, 600, 700 advertisers that are paying me a $30, $40, $50 or £30, £40 fee, because I was in the UK at the time, to actually advertise, I would create a very healthy residual income. And every single month those businesses would pay me an amount of money to advertise on the website, and I was in business and I didn't need staff and big teams and everything else. That was the idea anyway. Didn't quite work like that. You see, what actually happened is I bought the franchise. I got into a lot of debt, about $20,000, £13,000, £14,000 by the time I'd come out of that. I went through an experience of losing a lot of confidence. I was having anxiety and panic attacks, and it was all because of this reason. I struggled to get customers. Okay, I really struggled to get customers, and we've got a wasp joining us. So, I was in this situation where I was cold calling, I was chasing people, I was trying to convince people to meet with me, appointments and business owners. I found that a lot of small business owners were pretty tight in terms of where they would put their money, so you really had to convince them to part. And this is back in 2007, when it wasn't like a no-brainer to be on the internet. It was kind of an optional thing then for a lot of these businesses. Now it's kind of heading to that way that if you're not online, you're dead in the water, or you will be. So I recognized that there was a lot of potential, but like I said, I really want to stress this point. I struggled to get customers, so I went on a cold calling course, one of the worst experiences of my life. I had these two very flamboyant, extremely extrovert guys training how to cold call, and I was just sitting there thinking, I don't want to do any of this. That's not me. I don't have that attitude. I don't want that approach to business. I certainly don't want to be on the phone persuading and convincing people. And when I came out of that course, that seminar, it was about 5 months into trying to build this business, and I decided, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. And it wasn't because I didn't believe that I could learn how to cold call or could learn how to gain those skill sets. It's that I realized that I'd effectively bought myself a job. And until I had all of these businesses, it was going to be a very ruthless experience trying to actually grow that with these techniques that I felt were outdated, frankly, and certainly were things that I didn't want to be doing, chasing people. So this is important because, what happened is I ended up going back to my job, tail between my legs, and for less money, same hours, all of the normal stuff when you mess around. And I really thought to myself, do you know what, like, I'm going to have to just do what people say, and that's get my head down, keep working in my job, safe, secure job, and then maybe eventually I'll retire at 65 or something. But do you know what, when you've got a burning desire and you want more out of life, that doesn't cut it. And I assume that you're here giving me your time because you're one of those individuals. Maybe you're already very successful, maybe you're just trying to advance some skills, or maybe you're more like I was, and you've lost your passion, you're fed up with earning money the way that you're earning money, and you want to do something for yourself, and you want to do something that can give you some freedom. It doesn't matter, regardless of what your situation is. The point is that I want to make here is that I turned to the internet several weeks later with my burning desire, and I started researching, and funny enough, the first thing I started doing is researching things like businesses without selling, businesses without cold calling, and businesses without selling. Kind of ridiculous. Almost every business requires selling, but I came across a book, and I came across a book called Never Cold Call Again, and it was by an author called Frank Rambucus, I believe. I've never met him. I have met a lot of the people whose books I've read because I attend seminars and everything else, but I never met him. But his book actually was the beginning of changing my life, because what he showed me in this book, or what he taught me, and it wasn't the actual book, it came with a CD which I listened to in the car on the way to work and back. I was too lazy to read it, but I listened to it about 5 times, and the message that he gave me was that the most important skill set as an entrepreneur or as a small business owner, and even as a bigger business, if you're growing into a bigger business, is this ability to get and keep customers. And he really hit home this point that you don't have to do the traditional methods anymore: cold calling, chasing, convincing, just sleazy sales tactics. And he predicted, even in 2007, that the internet would really wipe out a lot of those businesses if they continued with these outdated methods. And that's exactly what we've seen. More and more businesses struggling as they haven't learned how to adapt into this new digital economy. And he kept going on about this term internet marketing, online marketing. Now, he didn't go into any great detail of what it was, but he just mentioned that, you know, online marketing and internet marketing was the future. So what I did is I went out and researched this term internet marketing, online marketing, and what it did is it led me across several different business models, one being affiliate marketing, but most importantly, what I learned just in my research before I even started anything was that the internet would give me the opportunity to market products, services, whatever I wanted to sell 24/7, 365 days a year, all around the world. And that made a lot more sense than starting a traditional business that was going to cost tens of thousands, or starting a business that was limited by an audience of a small radius or anything like that. And so I was kind of like hooked on this whole idea of starting a business. Now, at the end of 2007, literally just going into Christmas, as I said, I came across this term affiliate marketing, which is this idea of being able to sell other people's products and get commission for it. And I just loved that idea because I had no idea of what business I wanted to start. I had no product ideas. I had no existing experience. I'd only failed with my first business. And I was just in this situation where I wanted to start straight away. So affiliate marketing offered that, and that's why I chose that particular business model to start with. And still to this day, people in that situation, that's exactly the business model we teach them to go with as well. If they haven't got existing products or services or ideas, or they're not passionate about something that they're already doing, we tend to get people started with affiliate marketing because it's something you can start today without waiting around. So anyway, cutting this long story a little bit shorter, what ended up happening is I started affiliate marketing in the January of 2008. And I was sourcing or researching different products to sell, and I was promoting products in the relationship and dating niche, organic and healthy food, ebooks and tips, some other health and fitness tips, muscle gain, websites, membership sites. And within my very first month of getting started, I made my first few sales towards the end of that January. And I can't tell you, still to this day, it gives me almost goosebumps. It really does, when I first made that first sale. Because what I realized I'd done is I'd found a customer for somebody else's product, and I got a commission for it, and I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to deliver anything. I didn't have to speak to the customer. I didn't have to do anything. I literally just was the middleman. You know, I'd created an advert on the internet that sent them to a product sales presentation. They bought that product and I got paid. And I was hooked. You know, I was absolutely hooked. So then what I continued to do is just continue to get educated. I got myself a mentor. His name was Brad, and he was based out in Atlanta at the time. He's recently, or not recently, but moved to California since then. And you know, he really taught me some tips and tricks when it came to actually online marketing and exposing products and services to an audience of individuals. And I just kept growing that business. And by within 6 months of starting affiliate marketing, I was in a position where I'd made very close to $150,000, and I quit my job. I walked away from my job, making money on the internet. I was working, at that time when I was in my job, I was working night and day, but I didn't care, because for me it was a case of that if I could, you know, put a few hours in the evening into my business, and it meant that I would be able to create a second income to start with, and without having to risk getting into more debt, and without having to risk, you know, the typical, you know, loss of capital that would come with my first failed business as an example, I just was delighted with this kind of approach to business. By October of 2008, I was on fire. November, I'd bought myself an Aston Martin DB9, and by the closing of that year, I'd done over $450,000 in commissions. About August time of 2008, I came across higher price products, and being a direct seller or an affiliate of higher price products where you could get $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 commission per sale, and I started tweaking my business to where I was really focusing mainly on the bigger ticket stuff. and I was able to make thousands and thousands of dollars a day. And ever since then, I've been applying this knowledge to multiple different businesses and income streams. We built, myself and Jay, a company called Digital Experts Academy, and within the very first 12 months we had turned it into a multiple seven-figure company, something that we're incredibly passionate about. It's actually my favourite business that we have right now, and I'm sure it will continue to be, because it's all about providing this hands-on education, coaching and training and seminars, community, friends and everything else, and it's just a delightful business to run. And a lot of people say, what is it that I'm most passionate about? And for me, it's really about inspiring people to build businesses they're passionate about, because I just know how good it feels to leave behind those days of dreading getting up, the alarm clock, cold calling, all of the rest of it. To leave that behind is a phenomenal feeling. And just thinking about going back to that way of life gives me cold sweats. I can't even tell you how scared I would be of going back to a traditional business. Now, again, I just want to make sure nobody mixes my words. There is a lot of work involved with starting an online business, but it's not difficult. And that's really what I want to summarize here with this whole idea of learning online and internet marketing. You see, really the idea of making money on the internet is simple. It's finding amazing products to sell, and it's having the knowledge or the skill sets to find customers who want to buy them. It doesn't matter if it's your own products, your friends' products, affiliate products, people's products that you don't even know, whether it's about finding customers to build a network marketing company and you're growing a network, or whether it's about finding coaching clients and consulting. It doesn't matter what business you're in. At the end of the day, it's about having something amazing to offer and being able to match that to individuals. And that's just not that difficult a skill set to learn. It's a lot easier than learning to be a doctor or a dentist or a vet or anything like that, or even when I got into my first career, the amount of time I had to put into learning the real estate, the rules, the regulations, it didn't even come close to that amount of effort. Yet the potential is so vast, both from a perspective of the income that can be generated or made, but also from a perspective of the fact that you have so much choice about what you actually build. Now, a lot of people come onto these presentations, they're like, I want to know exactly what to sell, I want to know exactly what to build, I want to know exactly what to create, and unfortunately that's something that I can't tell you on a webcast. It's different for every individual, which is exactly why we have a getting started module that you're going to be able to go and gain access to. Now, I just got a list of points here that I want to make sure we follow, so that you know exactly what you can do if you want to get started today without any real risk. Well, in fact, without any risk. I'll explain why in a moment. And even if it's just to dip your toe in the water. Now, my advice is dip your toe in the water. It's fine to be skeptical or worry that you haven't got what it takes if that's how you feel. But that's what this module is designed to do, and I'll explain exactly why. You see, what you're going to have is you're going to have a series of videos to go through. Okay, what we're going to do before you go through those videos is just ask you to introduce yourself, a short form to introduce yourself. Then we're going to redirect you straight to the Getting Started module. You're going to get allocated a business consultant who works in-house with our company here. We have consultants based all around the world. And you're going to get their calendar, their Skype, you're going to get their email address, and it's up to you to reach out to them if you want to speak with them. It's very, very easy. What we wanted to do is create something that wasn't just about sending emails, waiting for support desks to get back, and all of that stuff. It's frustrating. We wanted to make sure you had a real human to work with, and it's not like a sales center or a call center or anything like that. These are individuals who are trained by us, specifically myself and Jay and our head of SFM, Martin, and they know the models and the business and what we do inside out, and can support you through those training steps. Now, what I will be very clear on, and this module is just a taster, because at the end of the day, we don't know what the right direction is for you. And the chances are, if this is all new to you, you don't know what the right direction is. So these videos are designed to actually give you something to think about, some choices, I suppose, around the way that you want to move forward. See, some people want to build an affiliate marketing business. Some people want to build a coaching and consulting business. Some people have their own product ideas. And we have different ways of educating you based on the goals that you want. Some people want a personal mentor. Some people want to attend our events. I've actually got 25 people coming out to Miami to join me in September to hang out, and while we brainstorm and really have some fun, but also help them progress the businesses that they've been building with us. And you know, it's going to be a very refreshing experience, I think, if you've ever gone through online stuff in the past, because there's just no hype, there's no exaggerations, there's no pushy sales. We're not going to try and sell something to you or anything like that. It's all about giving you some options and enabling you to make an informed decision on whether learning the skill of online marketing is actually something that you want to do. The next thing is we will be inviting you to some training webinars. These are, you know, where we're actually going to teach you some basic tactics of getting customers on the internet. Typically what we talk about is applying it to affiliate marketing. So how do you find customers for other people's products, just because that as a general way for most people is the best way just to get started, but also to prove to themselves that they can actually make money, often part-time from their laptop without any previous experience. And you're going to get invited to those if you go through the Getting Started module, so you can start to get a taste of actually the education process itself, and you'll also be given the opportunity to progress your training with us at any time, depending on, again, that outcome that you're looking for, whether it be seminars, events, whether you just want to learn from home, whether you're on a very tight budget and you want to do things, you know, bit by bit. We have all of those possibilities. You know, our mission is to serve 1 million people. We want to wake 1 million people up over the next decade to what is possible in this new digital economy working online. So if you want to get access to this module, it's a very straightforward process. You're going to want to hit the button on this page where you can go and get started. And the fee to submit your Getting Started module is just $29.95. Okay, $29.95. I'm sure that is hopefully affordable for everybody on this presentation. We wanted to set it at a price where we could drastically over-deliver for you. We wanted to make sure at the same time that it wasn't something that anybody could get access to, for example, for free, because then we just completely overload our company and then we can't provide that hands-on support and service. We want to make sure that you're serious. So it's really just, for us, it's actually a barrier to separate the serious from the not serious, but it's also something that we feel that we can very easily over-deliver on, which is what we're all about, and in fact is something that we're going to teach you in these modules, is the importance of over-delivering online if you want a long-term scalable business as well. Regardless of whether you're an affiliate or you're selling your own products, it's actually something that's very important when working online if you want some longevity. The only other thing I was going to say is it's risk-free, you know, so you can get your money back at any time. If you go through the module and you go through the trainings like, this is not for me, thank you very much for the information, just let us know, we'll give you your money back. Like I said, the only purpose for that $29.95 is just to keep out masses of people that are just going to waste our time and you know, aren't serious about actually getting educated. And on that note, like I said, this is an education program, so this is only for people that are prepared and open-minded to learn some new things. Please do not fear that you don't have what it takes to succeed. Myself and Jay have seen students from 16-year-olds to 86-year-olds who have gone on and succeeded with earning money on the internet through multiple different business models, and it's absolutely possible wherever you are in the world. The one thing that does help is a decent enough laptop and an internet connection. You will find it maybe a bit more frustrating if you have a very slow internet connection, because you'll be like now watching this, so if you're watching this, you're fine because you're watching this, but you know, this is how we provide a lot of our training, is through tutorials. Yes, there are ebooks and PDFs as well to go along with them, but it's very important that you have a good laptop and internet connection to access the material so you don't get frustrated. So thank you very much anyway for coming to join me on this webcast. I really do appreciate you giving me your time. You know, I'm sure your time is very valuable. It's certainly the thing that I value more than anything else, and it's exciting because, you know, this internet thing really can give us so much more freedom and flexibility, and if you go on to experience that in the future, I would love you to personally share any successes that you've had with me, because that is what inspires me and gets me jumping out of bed every single day. So thank you very much, everybody. I'm actually off to go and grab something to eat, and not sure what I feel like today. There's a few great restaurants here. I'm in a place called Brickell, downtown Miami, and yeah, it's been a pleasure presenting to you. this information. Thank you very much. Oh, and one thing I will say is, if you do have any specific questions, we're going to do that on the phone with you or Skype. You can do it by email, but it's often quicker to just speak with us on the phone. And like I said, as soon as you submit your $29.95 risk-free application, you'll get access to your business coach and all their information. You can email them, schedule appointments with them and everything else. So if I haven't covered anything that you want covered, you can do that immediately. The minute you've gone through the module or get started with the module, you'll have access to someone that you can actually speak to. Over and out for now. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope that we see you in the community very, very soon. Take care.